Hey everyone, it's Lindey. Welcome back to my channel. If you have been following along with the sequence of events on my YouTube channel, you will have heard me talk about leaving eBay as a full-time seller, and a lot of people have been asking what exactly I am moving to. What platform am I moving to? Is a business Facebook page and my own website. But all of the reselling stuff that I'm doing is primarily full-time Facebook business page. And I know that this is a really new concept for a lot of people. You know, every time I say Facebook, I want to say 95% of the people in my comment section automatically default to Facebook Marketplace. And I'll get this influx of comments saying, Facebook Marketplace sucks. You might be lucky that you could sell on Facebook Marketplace. I never get anything but scammers. Facebook Marketplace is just a cesspool of scammers. And if a customer buys something and you ship it, then they figure out this loophole where they can ask for a return, keep their money, and then never send the item back. While I have sold on Facebook Marketplace in the past, I don't anymore. Like, not at all. I think y'all know how many times you get that, is this still available message, and then nothing. Crickets. They vanish. So I really don't blame anybody for automatically defaulting to the idea of selling on Facebook Marketplace, but that is not what I mean. I am referring to strictly selling on a business Facebook page. So for a while now, I've been doing some preparations to try to figure out how to film a video discussing the differences in a platform like eBay versus what I am choosing to move to now full-time, which is my own personal business Facebook page. I actually got a comment yesterday that was like, that is it. That is how I am going to structure this video and kind of let you guys know my thought process. This gentleman said, if you're lowering your prices to put it on Facebook, why not just lower the price and leave it on eBay? And this commenter makes a really great point. On the video that I just recently posted, the one where I talk about pulling items off of eBay to sell it elsewhere, I believe that's where the comment came from. And it makes a very valid point. If I have something on eBay for $29 and I'm going to pull it down and put it on Facebook and sell it for $13, well, then why not just lower it to $13 on eBay and not take it off at all? Could I have just left those items on eBay and simply drop the price just to get it to move? Because obviously it's listed on eBay at this price and it's not selling, so makes sense, right? Just drop the price, sell it on eBay. Why take it down? So that's what we're going to talk about today. I want to talk about specifically profit differences and platform differences that made me want to simply pull it off of eBay and put it on another platform instead, specifically my Facebook business page. So I will say, while simply dropping the price on eBay and just keeping it on that platform and waiting for it to sell at a cheaper price just to move it, while it sounds like a good idea in the beginning, the biggest problem that I have with this is it really contributes to that race to the bottom aspect that eBay already struggles with. And as a seller, I don't want to be the one to contribute to that. So if we're talking about an item specifically from that video, like let's talk about the Switch controller. The Switch Pro controller that I pulled out of my eBay store and I put on Facebook instead, I want to center a lot of my comparison around that one item in particular. So with that Switch controller specifically, it was listed in my eBay store for $29 and I pulled it down off of eBay to sell it for $13 on my Facebook instead. So if I would have just simply dropped the price and left it on eBay, that's all well and good. However, one, I would be contributing to a race to the bottom because all of the comparable Switch controllers were priced anywhere from $25 to $45. So for me to drop that price to $13 would be, yes, undercutting all of my competition. However, it would be contributing to a bigger problem in my opinion. I would also still be one of 32,000 Nintendo Switch controller listings, one of 32,000. And if the person that's searching is even more niched in their search and they're searching for Nintendo Switch Pro controller, there's still over 6,000 active competing listings. And even if I can be on the first page, and outshine over 6,000 other listings, there's still no telling how long it's gonna take for that controller to sell. It's just gonna sit there. I have no idea. So now I wanna go into all of the reasons why I basically have decided to move items from eBay to Facebook. I wanna talk about the pros and the cons, and then I'll talk about profit, because that is the most important part, right? So honestly, before I even really realized how much better the profits were selling this way as opposed to that way, there was a few other things that made me gravitate more towards selling on a business Facebook page versus those online selling platforms. The first and primary one being that there was no seller transaction fees. If you go to an online platform like eBay, Amazon, Mercari, Poshmark, you have a seller's fee whenever you sell something. If you sell on a business Facebook page, there are 0 fees, unless you want to count payment processing fees, which you can avoid entirely if you do cash. With an online selling platform, you don't have that option. It's online transaction only. And staying in that same vein, that online selling platform holds your funds, whereas if you have payments sent to any payment method of your choice, whether it's a PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, or even Facebook Pay, you are holding the funds in one of your accounts from the get-go. The next thing that was really intriguing to me was the fact that I'm not forced to take returns. And if I choose to take a return, I get to decide how that transaction is gonna go. On eBay or Amazon or one of these other platforms, it's the platform that you're selling on that then dictates the terms of that return, how much, likely all, of a refund that customer's going to get. If you get that return back and it's sent back in an extremely different condition than you originally sent it in, there's really nothing that you can do to protect yourself. The platform is gonna dictate, and you're gonna have to send that return regardless. And if you put up a fight, there's a chance you could lose. Some platforms might allow you to send a partial refund, but there's always the opportunity for the customer to put up enough of a fight that they can file a complaint, they can open a case, and they can still eventually get all of their money back anyway. And the platform that you're selling on can literally just take it. They can just take it from your account. However, I love the fact that selling on my own business Facebook page, I am the one that is completely in control. I get to say whether or not I take a return. I get to say whether or not this is an as-is sale, no returns taken. If I get the item back in a return and I know that it's not the way that I gave it to them, I can refuse that refund. I might lose a customer, but I get to decide, not the platform I'm selling on. And then the last benefit that I was really interested to see was how much faster something can sell on a business Facebook page as opposed to a seller's platform. Now, this was actually a benefit that I didn't know was going to be such a big benefit, but it's seriously more important to me now than the fact that there's no seller transaction fees. I am being so serious, and the receipts are on my page to prove. Between 60 and 70% of everything I list on my Facebook page sells within 1 hour of being posted. I would be really curious to see, please let me know in the comments, are any of my viewers sellers that have a 60 to 70% sell-through rate within 1 hour of posting on any platform, excluding Whatnot? I have been a reseller for almost 2 decades now. I have never, ever before had over half of my items sell within 1 hour of listing it. That is crazy. It's insane to think that on my page, if I post something for sale, it has a 60 to 70% chance of selling in under an hour. And that is basically the definition of quick flip. And then of the remaining 30 to 40% of the time, those items will sell after I've dropped the price, or they might just take a full day before they're claimed. I just ran the numbers in preparation for this video, and what I found is that 95% of the items that I post on my Facebook page sells within 6 days. That leaves only 5% of the items that I list not selling at all. I remember when I was selling full-time on eBay, I would get excited about having a 30 to 40% sell-through rate in 60 to 90 days. Now I think about that, And I seriously think I was an idiot for thinking that was even a decent number. Now I've talked about all of the positive differences between the Facebook business page and eBay. So now let's talk about the one glaring negative, and that's traffic. On eBay, there is a ton of traffic. On Poshmark, there's a ton of traffic. On Amazon, there's a ton of traffic. On a business Facebook page, there's zero traffic unless you get it there yourself. There's a lot of traffic on Facebook itself. You just have to be able to figure out how to get that traffic from the regular Facebook page and get them to view your business Facebook page, which that's actually something that I've been seeing a lot of comments. I've been getting a lot of messages about how exactly to grow a business Facebook page. There's a lot of people that want to do this, but they're struggling with the growth aspect of it. So I do have a video coming about that. And I know that there's this preconceived notion that I have a YouTube channel with, you know, a lot of followers. And so there's this preconceived notion that I use those followers to essentially grow my following over on my business Facebook page. But I just want to say for the record, that's not what happened. I was doing that business Facebook page before I ever uttered a word of it on YouTube. I only just recently opened up my business Facebook page to shipping. Prior to that, it was exclusively a local audience, which means that I grew that business Facebook page locally from the ground up. And I drove all of the traffic myself and guided local customers to this page. So no, you do not have to have a big social media following in order to do this. There are certain things that I did, and I will definitely share that in a video. So make sure to be subscribed and hit the notification bell. That way you're notified when that video is posted. But it is possible to grow a local business Facebook page from the ground up, even if you have zero social media following. You don't need it. It'll help, but you don't need it. So now, even though these other sellers platforms have a lot of traffic, there's also a really glaring negative to that, and it's called competition. Like I previously mentioned with that Nintendo Switch controller, there was over 6,300 other Nintendo Switch Pro controllers that were currently listed on eBay. Yes, there's probably thousands of people looking for a Switch controller on eBay every month or so, but I'm competing with thousands upon thousands of other listings. When you have your own business Facebook page, you are your only competition. That is one of the things that I love the most about the page. The fact that I am literally the only person selling on this page, and I have buyers that are there looking on a daily basis to buy from me and only me. It's not like going to eBay and they have to put something in the search bar and then they have to find me in thousands or potentially millions of other listings. I don't have to compete with millions of other sellers. It's just me, because it's my page. And that is probably the final other aspect of selling on a page like Whatnot or a business Facebook page. The fact that you actually have customers looking to buy versus having to put items on a platform and wait for potential customers to type into a search bar and find your item. It's really a new way of selling, and I think it's where the future of reselling is going. I think the future of reselling is going to people that don't necessarily know what they want to buy. They're just there waiting, watching, and wanting to buy from you. You know, back in the day, people would think, what do I need? What do I want to buy? And then they type into a search bar and then scroll through listings. While I don't think that that way of buying is ever going to go away, I do see a whole new wave of selling and buying, and that's in the live selling space and being on a page like a Facebook page where you have customers coming and looking to buy things. They don't necessarily know what they want, but if you show it to them, they want it then, and they buy it within minutes. Okay, now let's get to the fun part. Let's talk about the profits, because I promised you guys profits, and I feel like this video has gone on for a really long time, and we haven't talked about profits once, so let's do that now. I have never been more profitable with reselling than when I started selling on Facebook versus selling on a platform like eBay. And believe it or not, it has nothing to do with the fact that there are no seller fees, no promotional listings. So we're gonna do some math, and I really want to go into some detail about this math because I want to give you something to think about. I want to change the way you think about profit. It has everything to do with turnover. So let me give you an example. Most of the time when we think about profit on one specific item. So let's look at the profit for this one specific item, the Switch controller. I had it originally listed on eBay for $29 and some change plus the cost of shipping. I had it listed on my business Facebook page for $13. As previously mentioned, the comparable listings for Nintendo Pro Switch controllers was anywhere between $25 and $45. So I thought that $29 was a really good, even keel price on eBay, especially because I just recently went and I did a search for Nintendo Pro Switch controllers. There's a whole bunch of different designs of Switch controllers, but if we're going strictly based on price, I was right where I needed to be with price for that controller. I had that controller listed on eBay for over 18 months. 18 months. That's a freaking year and a half, y'all. A year and a half. That controller sat on a shelf waiting to be sold on eBay, and I never even got an offer on it. Never even got an offer. Nope, that's right. I had best offer. Never got an offer. I put it on my business Facebook page for $13. And it sold in 12 minutes. 12 minutes. I've got the receipts to prove it. It sold in 12 minutes. So I cannot say that I didn't have any fees associated with the Facebook sale because they did send a Cash App payment. After the Cash App fees and the cost of goods, my total profit for the controller was a little over $10. Now let's look at what the profit would have been if I would have sold it on eBay for my asking price. I ran all of the numbers through an eBay calculator, and it turns out that my total profit would have been $24.26. So now the old traditional way of looking at these profits is to look at them side by side. If it's sold on Facebook, my profit is $10.27. If it sells on eBay, my potential profit would have been $24.26. However, that's not how I look at profit anymore. So this is actually how I look at profit now, and I would encourage all of my viewers to start thinking about profit this way as well. Rather than looking at the potential profit per item depending on what platform you sell it on, think about the turnover profit potential instead. So that Nintendo Switch controller was listed for over 18 months. Let's just say 18 months. I'm being nice by saying 18 months. And never sold. I put it on my Facebook page, however, and it sold within 12 minutes. And so now that that controller has officially sold, how many times can I now turn over that capital to generate more profit? Let's hypothetically go back in time, and instead of putting that Nintendo Switch controller on eBay, I put it on my business page instead. That Nintendo Switch controller sold in 12 minutes. I typically post new items on my business Facebook page Monday to Friday, so that's 5 days a week. So let's say I'm turning that capital once a day because it sold in 12 minutes. It's possible. So now suddenly that $10 in profit turns into $10 a day, because remember, it took way under 1 day to get that money back, to turn it to create more profit. So $10 in profit a day times 5 days a week, that's $50 a week or $200 a month. Over the span of 18 months, that turns into $3,600 in profit. Probably even more than that, because I'm not even counting the change or the fact that sometimes there's more than 28 days in a month, which is what 4 weeks would be. Like I said, this is how I think about profits now. If I would have just put that controller on my business Facebook page first and avoided eBay entirely, over that same 18-month time span, when that Nintendo Switch controller was just sitting on a shelf, I could have turned that capital over and over and over and over again into generating over $3,600 worth of profits. Does that make sense? Because it makes sense to me. And I'm probably gonna have someone come down in the comment section and be like, that's not how profit works. You don't turn capital like that. It's actually really infuriating to think about. The capital that I had tied up in that Switch controller just sat tied up for 18 months when it could have sold on my business Facebook page in minutes. Even if hypothetically it didn't sell in 12 minutes, even if it sold in a week, it's still way better than 18 months. That capital would have turned way more profit during those 18 months than it did just sitting on a shelf. And that is how I think about profit now. I see merchandise that's just sitting on a shelf. That is capital that is not turning. It's not generating profit. It's just sitting there. Turning items faster creates cash flow, and cash flow is how you're able to continue sourcing so that you can continue to sell items, continue to make profit, continue to roll that capital into more merchandise. When you purchase an item for resale and then it sits on a shelf not making you any money, that's capital that's tied up that you cannot use to go buy something else to generate more revenue. That is honestly what I think is the most detrimental part for a lot of resellers, is having the capital tied up not working for you. And that is the biggest reason why I am pushed to continue doing a Facebook page and not bother wasting my time with eBay anymore. Yes, eBay has seriously pissed me off lately. You know, I did that video talking about all of the little things that really just get under my skin about eBay. The fact that they, you know, changed their feedback policy and allowed someone to call me a fraud and wouldn't take it down. Yes, all of those were reasons to really get under my skin. And then they freaking restricted my account. They suspended me for some BS reason, saying that I violated prescription policy where the item that they flagged was not even a prescription item. It's just a lot of baloney. It's just a lot of hoopla. It's just a lot of crap I don't want to deal with anymore, especially when I know I could take stuff off of eBay and sell it within minutes on my own Facebook page. Why on earth do I want to continue to do that? Now that I see a different, better way for myself to be selling, why do I want to stick with a platform that gives me nothing but heartache? That's stupid. I'm not doing it anymore. And while eBay might still work for you, I hope it does. I genuinely do. Because for a long time, eBay did hold a very, very special place in my heart. If you've been a follower of my channel for a really long time, you know my story. You know how eBay helped me when I was dealing with some really, really bad stuff in my personal life as a really young adult, as a young mom. You know that eBay actually gave me a way to make money, to get myself out of some really, really bad situations. But I don't have that same loyalty anymore for so many reasons. So if eBay is still working for you, I applaud you. If what you're doing is working, I'm so glad, because I know that eBay helped me in a lot of really difficult situations, and I hope it's helping other people too. But eBay's just not a part of my playbook anymore. Honestly, it's just not. And it's because of all of the things that I expressed in this video, all of the platform differences. I am in the business to make money, and I just wasn't making that money on eBay anymore. eBay was just making it too hard to make money on their platform. There's other options out there that are a lot better if you just look for them. And I do want to ask, if you are still here, please go down in the comment section, because I need to gauge some feedback. As far as I can tell, there's not really anybody that I have found that is a reseller discussing selling on a business Facebook page like I am. There's a lot of people that, you know, have different avenues for selling, and maybe they do have a business Facebook page where they are, you know, promoting those other platforms or websites or something like that. But there's not really a lot of content like this, and I think that's why a lot of people are so confused. Whenever I say I'm selling on Facebook, they automatically default to Facebook Marketplace. So this is what I want to gauge. I am trying to decide whether or not I want to put my time and energy into creating some sort of a course or an ebook regarding exclusively selling on a Facebook business page. It would involve things like growing the business Facebook page, creating it, setting up shipping methods, payment processes, all of that, like a basic tutorial, start to finish, in a series of videos or an ebook or something. I want to try to gauge if there's a desire for that out there, because frankly, I haven't seen it, if it exists. And so I was considering creating this product, but it's gonna take a lot of work. So if there's not a desire to have it, then I don't want to put all of the energy into it. So let me know down in the comments below if that is something that you would be interested in. If you would be interested in some sort of a Facebook page seller's course or some sort of an ebook or something. It would absolutely be something affordable, but it would be so involved, I would have to create an entire product around it. You know what I mean? So let me know down in the comments below if that's something that interests you. As always, thank you guys so much for being here. I really, truly appreciate you. I hope that this video has given you some ideas of a different way of thinking about profits and thinking about broadening your horizons and selling in other places that's not a typical seller's platform. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up before you leave. The YouTube algorithm really likes it, and I love you helping me out. Don't forget to check the video description. I always put a lot of useful information down there, including the link to my business Facebook page so that you can go see how it actually functions day to day. And again, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and ring the notification bell. That way you're notified whenever I post my next video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.